Here we go.
Video. At this point, we've talked about this so many times, and hey, guys, I know some people might be getting annoyed, but you've got to admit that it sure seems like it's been working.
Yes, it has.
Because they just keep talking and revealing more and more and more about it.
Apparently, there is an Epstein list, and Trump is going to give it to us.
You should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard.
In a way, it's worse because it comes right out of your account.
The former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein.
Now, this is yet another...
I'll give you a list. Why don't you give the list to the FBI and have them focus on it? I'm just saying. Maybe that's a better idea.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just me, though, right?
Change of the story. First, we heard that the Epstein list was covered up by the Dems.
Then it didn't exist, and now it exists again.
There is no list. Then we heard the list was made up by Democrats. Now we're hearing that there is a list.
You say that the
To
FBI...
be fair, it's very clear that Trump referring to the list of people that he has, this is not the Epstein list in the form that it's going to be discussed in this clip.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like a page with like all everything's blacked out, but then it's got like all the people that Trump doesn't like down at the bottom.
Yeah, obviously, like, it's dishonest to frame it that way, but at the same time, if you have a, like, you know, if you have a crime and you think that somebody could be implicated, wouldn't you want to go down and check people off the boxes to make sure that they're not bad boys? That's what I would do.
has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it.
We need to release the Epstein list.
It's sitting on my desk right now.
The DOJ and FBI have now concluded there was no Jeffrey Epstein client list.
No incriminating client list.
Made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. Focus on Clinton, the president of Harvard. I'll give you a list.
This all comes after shocking revelations about new implications of our most powerful leaders, both former and current presidents.
Good. Yep.
But now, given the fact this story won't go away, Trump is zeroing in on his political enemies and saying they're the ones everyone should be focusing on.
They should focus on the fact that
anything he can do to deflect this.
Larry Summers from Harvard, that Bill Clinton, who you know very well.
Donald, you do realize that every time you do this, you look guilty. Remember, they used to say, innocent until proven guilty. Nowadays, it's the reverse. It's guilty until proven innocent. And you're not looking too good there, Donald.
And lots of other friends, really close friends of Jeffrey Summers, should be spoken about. Because, you know, Jeffrey Epstein should be spoken about. And they should speak about them, because they don't talk about them. They talk about me. I have nothing to do with the guy.
Now, the reason we haven't been speaking about these people is because, of course, the DOJ covered everything up, not giving any names. And, of course, people were extremely suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, we need a few sacrifices. I've said this before.
Yeah, man, we need to bring back those crucifixions, man. I don't want to see people strung up on crosses out on the White House lawn, man. Where's this at? I mean, shit, we got senators advocating for hangings to come back. Like, come on, man. Let's do it.
I'll say it again. We need to have a few people get fucking
destroyed by this. Absolutely.
Of this sudden change.
Come on, man. Let's ruin some people's lives.
We want to talk about everyone. Let's be clear. No matter who they are, left or right, we want them all to go down.
That's what I see. That's what I don't understand, is that people turn this into like a
Yeah, they try to say, well, it's because you're left or it's because you're right. No, bitch. There's people for both sides on there. Why do you think they did release these files? Because it's condemning for both sides. It shows the entirety of the government being a corrupt as fuck. Take them out.
Like, this is a partisan issue. I don't think this is a partisan issue. I think this is the people versus the elites.
Exactly.
It's not Republicans versus Democrats. I think that anybody who's convinced that there's one side that's doing all of the bad stuff and the other side isn't doing any of the bad stuff, you're lost in the fucking sauce, man.
Amen.
You are. Obviously, both sides
is condemning for the entire government.
are engaging in this.
They were on the island. If they are in the files, we want it all to come out. That's been everyone's stance from the beginning. And it seems like Trump is finally buckling on the idea that he can just ignore the problem, that he can just pretend it doesn't exist. And now it looks like he's shifting to deflecting to some of the other people who are also seemingly implicated.
Hedge fund guys, they're all over the place. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times.
Bro.
I never went to the island.
Now, if true, that's a shocking amount of times. We don't know if Trump has special briefings that we don't have access to right now.
Well, I mean, he obviously does, but like it doesn't matter because, like, again, the way he's handled it has burned the trust of the people. So before the Epstein,
and typically that does matter, but in this instance, he just doesn't give a shit because he's not coming up for re-election anyway. So why would he care?
Thing, I think that people had the trust that Trump would make the right decision. It's like when Trump bombed Iran, that was like a massive play, and people's trust that he had built up by, you know, getting rid of DEI and getting rid of...
Oh, yeah, he did all those things. He did all those things. Like getting rid of DEI and all this extra stuff. He did all of the stuff that he said he was going to do, and he waited to do the Epstein stuff last because he knew that if he tried to do the Epstein stuff first, it would be overshadowed. But I hate to break it to you, whenever it comes to something like the Epstein Files, it's going to overshadow everything you've done regardless.
You know, different people in government that, you know, Republicans didn't like, and shutting down the border. Like, he delivered on a lot of these other things, and so when he bombed Iran, everybody had his back. I think this definitely is a massive withdrawal of that goodwill.
Yep, it absolutely is.
Clinton denied going to the island. There are some people...
So actually not going to let up support for the Iranian attack? It has nothing to do with my opinion. I'm talking about public polling numbers. Yeah, I supported bombing them too, but it doesn't matter what I think. I'm talking about the public at large.
Yeah. The thing is that it's not an individual at this point. It's the solid majority. And the solid majority are still talking and want these files to be released. So go ahead and release these files.
Said, oh, maybe he went once or twice, but 28 times. I've never heard that.
You know, I couldn't think of a better thing for a president to do and have on their record of releasing one of the biggest scandals in U.S. history than releasing the Epstein Files and doing everything you could to release them. I couldn't think of a better president ever that would take down so many senators. Why wouldn't you do it, Donald? Maybe there's something on there that's condemning, you would say?
Number before. If true, I hope that comes out. I hope we get verification of that. Of course, it wasn't just on the island where these bad things happened.
Oh, what a
And the other surprising twist in this, where the narrative is sort of changing, is that Trump is softening his stance on this letter that he supposedly wrote. Initially, he said, it doesn't exist. I never could have written it. Now he's saying, oh, it could exist, but if it does, someone else wrote it.
I don't know what they're talking about. Now, somebody could have written a letter and used my name, but that's happened a lot. All you have to do is take a look at the dossier, the fake dossier.
So, seemingly they're laying the...
I don't think that that is softening language. I think that him saying that it doesn't exist and he didn't do it are effectively the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
he's probably terrified of these damn files, dude.
I think that they're basically the same thing. Because they're saying both of them are completely 100%, I did not do this, I had nothing to do with this, period. That's not softening? I don't think it is.
Groundwork for this
Personally,
birthday book to finally be released to the public, as we've all wanted. Trump is saying, look, maybe it does have my name on it, but I didn't personally write the note. Now, whether you believe that is totally up to you, but this is such a shocking change in stance from how they've been treating the Epstein Files. Previously, we were literally told, look, there's nothing we can charge third parties with. There's no evidence we have on anyone. Now, the Trump administration is meeting privately with Ghislaine Maxwell. So hopefully there's 100 new people she has mentioned. And Trump is mentioning evidence that he says they have, or some knowledge he says he has, of Clinton being on Jeffrey Epstein's island 28 times.
That's a lot.
Okay, that's crazy. How many times were you on it? I'm going to ask the question that no one seems to be asking. How involved were you with Jeffrey Epstein? I want a person... Or how many times have you been to Jeffrey Epstein's island, Trump? How many?
If true, is like so incredibly damning. And these people,
it's damning, but it's not condemning. Like, it's not for sure. Like,
Not yet, anyway.
I wouldn't say based off of that, like, Bill Clinton is 100% like a weird pedo rapist.
He also brought up one of the England peoples too. The fucking, it was like a prince or whatever. He brought up someone from England, I thought.
I don't think
Or not
any
England, but,
logical
like,
person could not
I
make
don't know,
that
it's one of
conclusion.
The princes.
But I sure think that you definitely need to look into it.
Prince Andrew? I think he brought up
It's
Prince
not
Andrew.
proof, but it sure is a fuckload of evidence, isn't it?
people should be locked up. The problem is, of course, it cuts both ways.
Let's be
If you're
real.
going to implicate one person, you have to go after everyone. Now, Trump was asked if he was ever briefed on his name being in the Epstein Files. Of course, it was reported by the Wall Street Journal that
course
he
he
was
said.
told, and that's when he started
How many
acting.
points on a graph do you need? I think that you need at least 29. You need at least 29 points on a graph. 28 is just like, I don't know.
Not
I mean,
quite
it could
there.
go either way, right? But 29? Oh, yeah, for sure.
Being very
There's definitely
weird
plenty
about
of
the Epstein
points.
Files, saying it was all a hoax. He once again denies it, though, saying he wasn't.
And again, by the way, I think it's cause for investigation. And I like, all I'm saying is
They're
that
just gonna keep asking him like the same question, dude.
I wouldn't, like, I'm not assuming he's guilty. If you want my opinion,
God damn.
I think he's guilty.
Oh yeah, I absolutely think he's guilty. I've said that so many times. Absolutely.
But I wouldn't want the government to function that way, right? That's I think that he is, but you still have to figure that out.
I agree. And you know how you figure it out? By releasing the unredacted version of these files. That's how you figure it out.